Another escape against Illawarra, Mike. What did you make of that one tonight?
Had it all the way. What are you talking about? First of all, they're a fantastic team, and they're a championship contender, and they've had a hell of a year. So it's not like they were just going to come out there in the second half and not play and be like, okay, Adelaide beat us or whatever. Like, come on, right? So we knew we were going to get a punch, and maybe a couple of them. And would we love for it to look a little prettier the second half? Sure, I guess, right? We did win the game. That's the ultimate goal. I think we've had 4 games here. We had a hell of a game in Sydney. We had a hell of a game against Melbourne United. We played our asses off at Tasmania. We just didn't get one rebound or one play or one. Could have been like 50 things along the way. And credit to our guys, we used that disappointment as fuel in our tank. We couldn't play a much better first half. They were on the ropes. They didn't have timeouts. There was nothing they could do, and we kept coming at them. I give our guys a ton of credit. I thought that we were focused, and the ultimate goal is to get the win, and at the end of the day, we did.
In some of the games this season, there's been, like, the first couple of minutes, like, the opposition's gotten on top of you. They've gone 0-6 or 0-8 at the start of games, but then you've found a way to reverse it back. What is that adjustment that occurs? Is it the players? Is it the coaches?
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I think if we knew, then we would have corrected that one a long time ago. Guys, one thing that team, us, and the 36ers, we have not had that group completely in uniform together since November 10th or, against Melbourne United before we had that situation. November 10th or whatever the date is, since we had our full complement of roster. You got to put that in perspective of what this group has been going through with suspensions and then injuries. So I still don't think that you've seen the best version of this team. Like Jarell Martin right here, it was a hell of a game tonight. It was a hell of a game. And I have a really difficult situation with 3 really talented bigs, right? I mean, Ice plays his ass off. He does everything you want him to do. He runs the floor. He rolls. He rebounds. In pick-and-roll defense, he literally is in the right spot almost every time. And he's been a huge reason why we've been super successful against Illawarra. It's Isaac Humphries. But this guy was rolling a little bit tonight. Trez had his deal. I just had a little different feel, and it's a really hard thing because there's 3 of them, and 2 of them are going to be on the floor, and 1's going to be on the bench, and that's not comfortable for that guy. I totally understand that. There's all kind of different situations. Sunday coming back, Lat's been great. So our team is still adjusting. We're still going through a transition at this point in the year, which is, I hope it's a good thing, because we're still adjusting the different ways to play and different playing combinations, and the fact that we just had that group back out on the floor together.
And Jarell, it seems that you've got that combination with yourself, and you're getting back to somewhere near what we've seen in the past from you, and that he's starting to feel like, utilising your minutes well. Like, you had 24 minutes for 16 points tonight with 9 rebounds and highly efficient shooting again. From the last couple of weeks, have you felt like you're starting to get back to that form?
Yes, sir. I've been feeling myself getting in a lot of better shape, getting lighter on my feet and stuff. So I've been feeling real good the past couple games. Just me, I knew it was going to take me a while to, get back in game shape and get my rhythm back. But, me just staying with it and, continuous working and, just being ready when my number's called.
So is there like a percentage in terms of a number that's sort of where you've come from to where you are the last probably 4 games, for an example? Is it like an extra 20% that you've increased your output by?
I don't know percentages, man. I just know to just get better each day, and when the lights is on and the ball go up, man, just to be ready.
Mike, what pleased you most about the first half? Was the rebounding numbers, or was it the fact that defense was locked in, keeping them under in the 30s from the floor?
I mean, they're just such a talented offensive team, right? I think that what we've done in this stretch of the last 4 games is our defense has been pretty good. Unfortunately, we gave a 30-point quarter to Tassie in the first. We held them to 11 in the second, and then we had a couple of things happen there in the third and the fourth. But, our defensive energy and our focus when we're doing that kind of stuff, our defense fuels our offense. It's a completely different game for us because we have so much offensive talent. The way we set the tone, they have 2 elite scores, but we have quite a few really good defenders. And there's certain teams that you match up well with, and that's one of ours that we match up really well with.
Was your heart in the mouth a little bit after what happened in Tassie when Tyler Harvey's sort of launching that last second shot? Do you feel like you did everything right?
Yeah, it didn't, the shoulda, coulda, woulda was over. We were still competing. I wish the second half was a little prettier, right? As a coach, you want the ball to go through the net. You want it to move from side to side. And you want all these things that, we draw the perfect play on the board. And, it wasn't that. But what we did do is I think they cut it to 7 in the third, and we responded. And then they made a run, and Days makes 4 threes, or it's not a 3-point game, too, right? I mean, he made some shots. You got to give those guys credit. I mean, they're every bit of a championship contender or favorite, right? I mean, they've got a lot of different weapons, and, you're just trying to get the win. What we did was we protected our home court. It was a huge win for us. Our desperation was more than theirs.
And there was a bit of an altercation between the two teams at the end of that first quarter. What was your take on what was sort of happening there?
I just thought it was guys competing. I loved it, actually. I didn't think there was anything, there's a bunch of talking. That's the kind of situation that you like because guys are locked in and they're ready to hoop. And, there's competitive guys, man, and we're getting late in the season and the games are getting thin. And, we want to be in the finals, and we've got to win to do that. And we got to stack some wins. And so we've won 3 out of 4. And, now we got to get ready for the next one.
Mike, you've beaten the top team, the second team, and the fourth team in the last 2 weeks. And then in there, also that overtime loss to Tassie. So that must give you the confidence that your best is good enough.
Yeah, I think we have a very talented roster. Like I said a few times up here, I try not to make excuses, but we haven't had our roster together. Even when we were November 10th, Rel was not in the role yet. This is really the first game of this version with Sunday coming back, and he came off the bench tonight. And eventually, the job that Lat has done has been unbelievable. And whether it's Lat or Sunday as the starter, and I've got 3 bigs going, our roster and where we are at in this point of the season is super exciting. I just think that, we haven't seen the best version of this team. I said from the moment I took over that you hope that you get 1% better, and you hope that at the end of the season that you're the best version of yourself. And I hope that's where we're going. It's been a hell of a ride. I'm not going to lie. There's been a lot, with just having different lineups and guys in and out. But we have found something here in 2025, and we've won 3 or 4.
Comment on the rebounding scenario tonight. You're the worst rebounding team statistically in the competition. Illawarra are the best, and you out-rebounded them in all 3 games that you've played them. So different personnel, different circumstances.
Well, I think we would not be the worst rebounding team in the competition if we had our whole squad the whole year. We played with that team for 10 games. We've played without guys for 12, 13 games. So I would argue the number. I don't know where we were in the first 10. We probably weren't last. But we have 3 outstanding bigs. And we have some wings in Sunday and Lat that can rebound from the wing. So I just don't think that's probably an issue. But I do think for some reason against Illawarra, we match up well with them. I give them a ton of credit. We have so much respect for what they do and who they are. But I didn't care that we'd beaten twice, and if somebody says that, you know, it's hard to beat somebody 3 times, I just think that's the most ridiculous thing ever. You know, our desperation to get to the finals and to win games had to be more than them coming here and winning a game.
You had your highest scoring first half of the season, and you just said that you knew they were coming out after half-time and they'd be ready to go. You were within 1 point of your lowest scoring second half of the season. What dynamic, what was the change?
Yeah, bad coaching. Yeah, bad coaching.
In what way?
I've got to get them into better positions to be successful, right? They couldn't guard us one-on-one. They couldn't guard us in a zone. They came out in the second half and they sort of played a matchup zone, sort of 2 guys on KD. You know, it sort of stalled the clock a little bit. I've got to get the guys in the right position. That's part of my job. I've got to get them in the right positions. I got to get them connected so we can be successful as a group. So that's on me.
And Mike, just pre-game, obviously there was 2 great champions of this club. Were one honoured, one commemorated, I guess, in terms of Daniel Johnson and Darrell Pierce. Just a word on,
Yeah, well, obviously our thoughts are with the Pierce family, right? I mean, you know, we talked about it a little bit as a team earlier today. You know, it's a hard one, especially somebody, I think 64 is young, 54, so trying to give perspective to my team and these guys a little bit of how fast it goes. And, you know, with DJ's number retirement and, you know, who he was at the club, I didn't even know I got here maybe August 1st, and the first thing Matt Weston had me do was go and I watched an NBL game between Forceville and Sturt, and he was playing in the game, and he's out there just getting buckets, and I didn't really know who he was, and I'm sitting by Matt, and I'm just like, who's that? And he's like, hey, he's a 36er legend, man. And like he's going at our young guys. He's hitting 1-foot step back threes, and he put Ben Christie in some foul problems. Sorry, Ben. And I mean, it was just a clinic, but you could tell his skill and what he, you know, that he was a really, really great player. So tonight was the first time that I actually got to meet him, and I kind of relayed that story to him. And so that was kind of, you know, I just think it's an awesome thing. We get to wear the, you know, be a pro basketball player, and it's such an honor, and we only get to do it for so long. And, you know, the ride's short, and the season's short. And we know we only have 7 games left, and I kind of rolled it in to my message with the team about trying to, you know, take advantage of all our opportunities and try not to leave it on the deck. And you know, we think about the Pierce family, and great for DJ, and hopefully we can just move on and get our focus for another really tough game on Friday night.
And Jarell, you would have played against DJ in your days with Sydney. What are your sort of memories of going at it?
Yeah, he's definitely a tough person to call, man. Draw a lot of fouls, and he can shoot the skin off the ball. So, yeah, he's definitely a skilled player, man. It's an honor, you know, for him. Good for him to get his jersey retired in the rafters, man. It's a big accomplishment.
Anyone? You go ahead, Jace.
Coach, how did you see? You got a great view of those last seconds there when Tyler Harvey threw that one up. Coach Tatum felt pretty strongly there was a foul missed in there. How did you see that play unfold?
I have no idea. All I was doing was sort of seeing if we were running back. I was trying to see if we were connected, and I was trying to just make sure that we got a contest on that shot. You know, to be honest with you, foul or not, I got to be really honest. I have no idea. It was more about if I could see a hand going up to see if he was going to get a clean look at the rim, because, you know, I think him and Trey Kell are just outstanding shooters, and all you're trying to do is not give them a clean look at the rim because they're just such great shooters. They're probably going to make it, you know, and you know, maybe it helped us that Daves was making all those shots down the end, and they didn't throw him the ball. But you know, he's you know, how I felt about it. You know, I just was hoping that we contested it and hoping that we could get the rebound.
Did you have your heart in your mouth for a second? Did it look good at any stage, or it looked a bit?
No, you know, I was right behind it. It kind of went off his ring finger, thank goodness, and I could tell it was going left right when he was rising up. I had the actual perfect line, so I wasn't worried about that. And then I was literally worried about the contest and whether just trying to get the rebound. But I kind of was right on the angle with him.